guys, welcome back to the channel. Keith here, Jesse on the camera. Tonight on the bench we've got our SCX10 Pro Line I-Beams Prerunner Ranger Raptor fender flare build kit thing. Yeah, so anyhow, we built this a little while ago on the channel. We've had a lot of comments asking for us why we're not driving it, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, we're kind of scared, nervous to drive the body. After we had bought the over fenders and the body, ProLine discontinued the body and the over fenders, and I just don't feel the need to go out and trash this. We put a lot of time and work into it. It's a good looking truck. We'll toonch around it a little bit in the winter time and stuff like that, where we can know it's not going to roll on the roof and just get gored apart, right? We don't need that stuff. We have a lot of other stuff we drive. Plus, ProLine continues to make new bodies all the time. Luckily, in short notice, while we were waiting, they replaced the body with this 93-ish Ford Ranger, already fender flared pre-runner body. It's a little narrower in the cab section. It is an extended cab versus the regular cab two-door. It looks a little bit more racy. The windows are smaller and such. I can put them up next to each other here. See what I'm saying? Just comparison-wise, you know, like the cab shape and everything. You know, it's definitely more sporty looking. It's got a kind of a nice look to it. They did shorten up the front end, but I got this guy mounted on perfectly. I got a gap between the front bumper. That guy, my front bumper sits right above the bars, so when you hit the ground, you hit the body. But hey, it's a different story, different time. But anyhow, enough about the body. We'll go over that again. Pretty cool piece. Once we get all our decals and such on that, we just wanted to let you guys know we are converting that over. Oh, the over fenders are wide enough to tuck the rear wheels up inside. So that is one thing that body does have over this. This body is not wide enough to tuck them up inside, but we're going to trade that for some more down droop suspension today. It's okay travel. Like, we got it sitting right there where it's just kissing. Of course, it's going to roll and touch a little bit. We don't care about that. That's fine. But up and down travel all day long. We can clear the back tires, but we want to get some more droop out of the back. A little bit all around. Right now, we are rocking the 4 axial aluminum 90mm with the faux piggyback reservoirs on them. And then we have the RSD shocks with no springs and no spring purchase on the bottom, just the shocks running. 35 and 50 weight oil. 35 in the axials because they're pretty small, it's about all they can really handle, and 55 in the RSDs. Gives it pretty good flow, rides pretty good, but again, very limited suspension travel. Also, the front's got a little bit less. It's still not bad. It's still okay. You can still party with that, but we want a bit more. So luckily, whenever we buy a new axial 10.3 platform, we take the 100mm shocks off they give us and we put on usually a Traxxas 90mm shock. It's kind of our go-to. It's probably the cheapest set of 4 shocks we can get here in Canada that feel good. They're quality. They don't leak. They're just great shocks. So great replacement on your axials with the 100s. They're just too long and your truck is just rolling on its own body weight. So, but we noticed that the body on this guy and the body on the 90mm are nearly the same size. Can you see that there? Kinda? No, there's a big strap in the way. But anyhow, they're pretty close to the same size body, but you get a boatload more droop out the bottom. Look at that, hanging down there. Wait, can we show that? There's no danglers? So anyhow, so we're going to swap out all 4 of these rear shocks with the 4 that we have. We have 2 sprung, and we have 2 unsprung, and we have yellow springs. I thought we had, maybe we have blue ones from the Jeeps, but so far we've got the yellow one. Now these came off our latest CJ7 build, and we need to source a set for the front. I'm pretty sure I know where to go steal a pair from, so yeah, we could take some off the other Bronco and just put these ones onto it, be done with it. But anyhow, you don't need to know that. We're going to get going on this. We're going to pull these guys off, swap these guys over. Let's take a measurement so we can be all pro of our travel right now. Can you see the numbers? I can't see that side. So we're sitting about 65mm squatted all the way down with not much deflection on the tire. I'm not mashing it, I'm just pushing it down until they stop. Ride height, sitting at about 85-90. all the way up, 100. Okay? Should we write that down somewhere? I'm gonna forget. But anyway, we'll measure again. You guys can sort that all out later in the video. Another thing, you guys, this brace that we did in the top, because the front mounts are like licorice, we've actually had this guy sitting on the shelf without a body, and the shock tower started folding in. We went to go put the body on, it didn't fit. We had to pull the shock towers apart. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this licorice, but this is gonna need a crossbar across. So we're also gonna tackle that today. Make it a little bit of a pain in the butt for getting the battery in, but we can still hook it in there. And you're gonna have to move the battery. I do like having the rear weight of the battery to kind of keep my center balance 60% rear. We got it, you know, it's sitting pretty good. You don't want to have a front weight bias on a jumping truck. So if I move that battery forward, the truck's gonna nosedive and just be an animal. It would be nice if we could actually lift this guy up a little bit, and then we can get the rear diff to actually tuck up inside, because it's hitting the battery box before we bottom out on the shocks. But let's get the shocks done, and then we'll jump into that next. Do we need to say anything after that? Let's get to the next. Okay, fade to black. Star fade. Okay guys, we have those 100mm axial shocks in the back. They look great in there. We are gonna have to go with lighter oil. Traxxas. What? Axial's using a heavier oil in them than I think it might be like a 45 or 50 weight oil, and they're pretty heavy, especially having the 4 shocks in the back. A little bit slow for pre-running, but actually not bad. So we're gonna go with a lighter oil in there, probably go down to a 20 weight. If we gotta do some tuning, we'll start drilling holes in the pistons on the rear shocks to help the oil travel through them faster. We'll do 1 hole on each one at a time until it's flowing just like we want it. We'll go from there. Anyhow, fully squatted out. We are down to 65mm where we were, so that's good. The tires are still going to fit and clear the body. Ride height from there jumps up to a 90mm, so we're 5mm higher. And then fully drooped out all the way up. We're now all the way up to 110, 112mm, so definitely gained that extra droop of travel in the rear that we were after. Let's take a look how that flows all the way down. We got room in the wheel well. Now all the way up, that's starting to look a lot better. That's kind of a nice stance. What you want in a pre-runner truck is your rear axle contacting the ground before the front. You fly through there, back tires hits the ground, lands, pulls out, no problem. I am debating if we're gonna change the front springs from 90s. That's already a decent amount of drop and droop in the front. You know what I mean? That's quite a bit. If we lift it up, it's sitting pretty good right there. It's almost level. I feel if we go any taller in the front, we're going to be riding nose high, and it's going to throw our weight off as we're carrying our weight in the front of the vehicle. So you want to keep that definitely not higher than the rear end if you can. You want to keep that lower or on the same plane, preferably. What do you think, McPherson?
I think it rides pretty nice. And if you think about it, when you're on the throttle anyways, it's going to squat the rear end in anyways, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? So
having that extra 10 mils at the back of travel will help with the front being shorter.
Yeah.
It'll keep more of that. It'll keep, like you said, it'll keep it more level, and I think it'll hold more weight to the front than if you added 100 mils to the front.
Yeah, if we bring it up, because then your tires are going to get like on the edges, like when you're on the throttle, exactly, right? We're already up on the edges of the tires, like we're already skating. We call that sandal at Walmart look. You can see some of their sandal rolling under their ankle, cruise around Walmart. That's what we got going on. Now we don't want to get that completely on the ankle. Rolling ankle. Cruising like that on hundreds. Woo! Pizza cutters. Okay, so I think we just had a corporate, incorporated, limited decision made. We're going to go with the hundreds on the rear. We're going to keep the 90s on the front. It's already a nice setup. You can see those big fat resis in the front wheel well. I think that looks pretty cool. They do work good. The front's working great. The back is a little tick on that oil, so we're going to lighten that oil up. It's all part of tuning. Okay, so Jesse and I are confident with where we are at right now on the truck to go outside and test it. We're going to throw a couple stickers on the body, pretty much get it done. We'll do a decal steam paint job on it later. We do have another backup body coming that we're going to spend a little more time paint. This is going to be kind of the trash or test body on it. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up. Let's go outside, rip some donuts in this thing, and then we could talk about the changes we're going to make with the gearing, the suspension, maybe some tires, maybe some foam, stuff like that. But anyhow, let's go test it out and see what it does. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of this video for now. As you've seen in the video, the truck absolutely rips. It's a good time. I was having some fun ripping around. Driving on the hard packed gravel with the little quarter down gravel that we have on top, very loose and sandy. A lot of fun for ripping and sliding around. The truck hooks up great when you get it in the grass. We are going to put a two-stage foam. These are stock foam in there right now, so we're going to go with two-stage foam, and we're going to play with the valving and the springs on the rear shock setup to get it floating a little bit better. It's a little bit stiff over small bump, but took the jumps really nice, so that means we're very close. Front end is working great. Until the next one, we'll see you guys soon.